parts are rough. Most of the waviness out of there, but like whoop-de-doos in there. Now it's kind of straight in there. Still pretty bad, but go work on this a little bit through here. But most of the whoops are out. I don't know, can you see the whoops in there?
Yeah.
Someone doesn't know how to grind very good. Did the cutting on these. You're supposed to try to cut out the spot, not add to it. See the ripple where they go straight in?
Mm-hmm.
So when we're cutting it, they were just going like this, digging out high spots and
Oh yeah.
not doing the job at all, so it's ripples like crazy. The other one had ripples coming out the other direction. Now these are only welded on the inside, so I don't want to cut too much out, but I gotta at least take out some of the unevenness. It doesn't need to be in there like that. Getting this out is going to be interesting. Try to stay just on the high spot and knock it down. Way easier said than done. Looks like I got most of it off, see? Sure is nice. Try to do it next and knock it down more. That's just a big low spot in there. See, at least now it's kind of round. That's loosely stated. So I do my own work, see. Not a big fan of that quality workmanship that I see in these. Hey, that's not going to flow very good. See that right here? So, see a big pocket?
Yeah.
Then you got to come up this mountain here, and then it drops down and goes the other way. So this peak here needs to go away. See, Harley, when they plunged the seat, they would cut it way too deep in there. They should have stayed about a 1/4 inch higher, or maybe even 3/8 of an inch higher. It would have flowed real nice, but they get a little carried away. That's factory. Kills the airflow. So all you can do is try to save what you can save of it. And the rest of it is what it is.
Does that make a huge difference in how it...
This would.
Really?
Yeah. Exhaust is going to want to turbulate and not go out the hole. which is going to make the head run a lot hotter because the exhaust is going to stay in there because it doesn't want to come out. Problem is getting in there. Too deep in. So you need something to get up in there deep with.
Okay.
Oh, that one's bigger. There's a smaller one over there. I'd have to change it though, it's a lot of work. Maybe we'll just cut it out so we don't have to do that. Problem is you don't have full access to go up and down because you hit stuff. So see the difference already?
Yeah, big difference.
I'm going to try to come up a little higher, but we're limited, very limited. Yeah, smaller cutter. This one's loading up too, so you'll hold on a minute. Time for some dip. Tip dip.
What does that do?
Unloads it. Lubricates it so the chips will come out. Unloads it. This one over here. See how I'm bottomed out here?
Yeah.
That's close to my angle. See I'm hitting on this?
Yeah.
I'm trying to cut over there, but I'm hitting on all kinds of things. It kind of limits what you can do. I got most of what I wanted out of there, I think. That's a tremendous improvement over what it was.
Really?
Alright. At least now the air's got two troughs to go through, so it kind of relieves the tension a little bit off of it, but it's still an edge. I still got an edge that's now further up, but it's not as tall. So even though it's still there, it's a lot better than it was. That's the kind of stuff you got to fix when the valve guide's not in the hole.
I was just thinking that.
Problem is you're not expecting to go have to report the whole damn head while you get when they're this bad. So now I got to figure out I'm going to get in there and cut in a direction I can't cut very well, which is straight in. So you got to plunge in. These are not made to plunge. You're going to want to dig in. These are way too big. Something small. So you go in there and try to knock it out with these. This one here is going to tend to load up more than this one. I'm going to use the coarse one. And we're plunging, which is, like I said, they don't like cutting out. They're made to cut on the side, not the tip. So see, I got to do it like this from the tip. So it's really hard to not just dig a hole also. down. In there. See how you get it on this side. Go over here on this side. The guide's in the way, it's digging into the guide. Digging holes, which I don't like, but well. Take a lot of hours to make that better. That thing is nasty in there. It's not the right cutter. This is my dull one. It's got the bigger diameter head on it. See, it won't go in there as far, but it'll clean things up better. Can't be able to pull the ball. See where I'm cutting? Right in here. See, I can only hit certain parts because the grinder is hitting over here. I don't have access to get all the areas I want to get to. And the other stone's too damn big. This one here, I can't even get in here. Okay, so see what we got right now? So we got access to go through here now. Nice and even. Cut out a lot of that stuff that was in there out of there. Still not very super even, but compared to what it was, it's night and day difference. It's too damn big too. If it's smaller, it's a little better. It's better to make it a little bit bigger and knock out the big turds and leave the turds in there and do it that way. Well, here's the intake. See how this has got the big turd right here? You can feel it?
Yeah.
Because they had a round cutter that went in there. They only went in so far, so when they pulled it out, they left a big edge like that. So you only want to knock out that whole thing so it's straight instead of just having a whoop-dee like this in there. And you come in there with one of these cutters, like this, and just knock it out. We knocked it out now.
Mm-hmm.
So now we want the air to go that way, so we gotta now take the edge that looks like that, we gotta radius it back. So it's got a straighter shot to it. I'm not gonna use this cutter though. Use this one. 'Cause this one you can get on the back side a little bit over here and cut the edge away. Metal in there. Okay, so you see I get the radius going through here now?
Mm-hmm.
You can't see anything from that view.
I think I can.
There's no way you can see it because I'm working over here, not over here. So I have to go like this. See, now you can see. See, now there's a trough to get through here. Before there was a big wall right there. So now the air can go through there and try to get through the other side of the guide over here. To flow up around the back side of this guide here to flow around the valve all the way. That's why panheads don't make any horsepower. This whole side of this port's got a big turd right here that I'm trying to knock down, but I gotta turn the head so I get better access. So now if you cut too deep up into here, there's an insert that's cast in. You actually come up and hit the bottom of the steel, and then the head will crack right through here real easy, especially if you put a seat in it. So you gotta be careful. Now your other head, that's all gonna be cut out of there because it's an early head. The early head doesn't have the metal in there.
Oh. This is an early head too, isn't it?
No, it's a 55 head. The other one's a 50 head. Let's see the angle and get to it. Bad angle. See, I got this big lump in here.
I thought for panheads, anything before 63 was considered early.
Why would the last 2 years be considered normal and everything else is early? That doesn't make sense.
Because they changed to internal or external heads, external oil.
So they didn't change the ports, did they? First thing you do is bring it up the size of what the hole is. Then you need to worry about radius and after. Smoother one. Take the whole thing down, there's too much metal coming out. I have smoothed it up a lot so it's almost nothing left. Just going to work on the back side here. Alright. It's good enough for a quickie. Not exactly quick. See, now the air can get in there, flows in there, has half a chance of getting over to making the jog over. At least now we got almost a full size going in. So
Will that make a difference in how it runs?
it'll make it run better, yeah. If you notice, it's the same size as this.
Yeah.
Carb is about the same size too. You got an S&S on it, don't you?
No.
You want to get a link or not, that's right. So your link's a little bit smaller than what this is. So this has some edges in here from all the welding is.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to knock those down now. Use the seat as a template. So you rub against the seat until the aluminum goes away. Then you bend over a little bit more of an angle to knock off more of it till it looks like it's pretty straight. Any burrs in there as the intake's going to modify, it's going to slow the airflow. It's a sharp edge here all the way around because there's no floor height. You see how almost no aluminum underneath the seat? So all I do on that is I just take this and just deburr the edge with this. Don't grind it, just deburr it. That way you don't cut yourself when you're in there. Just literally sharp enough to cut you with. If you take too much metal there, there'll be nothing under the seat. The seat could theoretically drop out. It won't. People think they might. We're just going to clean up this radius right over here, which you can't see from that angle at all. Now this one, the air goes this way, so the edges underneath the seat don't hurt you too much, as long as they're not sticking out. Those ones were. Those are sharp as hell up in there. This one's coming up this way, so you have to grind the port bigger. Even though I like doing a funnel into there, it's better to go slightly more of a funnel and knock off the burrs and leave the burrs and have to turbulate around them. So, fine tune our radius a little bit. And then that part of it's done. And the combustion chamber, you can either dick with it a little bit or not. It's fine for what we're doing for your bike. For high performance job, I'd radius it out on this back side a little bit. Grind these out here a little bit, make it more blended in, but for a lower RPM pan motor, there ain't enough flow to make a difference on that. It doesn't flow enough air to make any difference. So you can see where I was working on the board here. So it's radiusing this backside in. So whatever air comes through here, it has to roll up around this side here. You're trying to get some of the air to go around this way and come around this way, but you can see it doesn't want to do that. It's going to want to go this way. Some will go this way, but not much. That's why I ground this corner away over here a little bit to let it kind of get on back over there. Before with the stock set up, the damn ledge was about right here. There's no way the air would have made a U-turn and went back and go up. It ain't gonna happen. So at least now we picked up a little airflow here. We might maybe like 10%. 10% is better than 0. All the air is gonna try to come through here, and obviously it's, even though it's a big port, the effective port size is only about right there. This little area right here is about all the port really is. As far as airflow is concerned, it's nothing. The exhaust is huge. Now if this was the intake port, it'd make good power. But it's the exhaust port, so it over scavenges. This pipe can be a lot smaller than this, and it would run better. But anyway, that's what you got to work with on panheads. That's the problem with these panheads. The manifolds, or, you know, the port design here sucks. The only thing worse than this is a knucklehead. They're even worse. Now this one over here is our early head that's been all welded. So now all of this stuff here that was cast and machined, now we have a massive weld in here that's very uneven. But see how it's more radius than this one? Because this was all put in and welded. That was all cut out because they actually have a big thread insert that went in there, so they had threads all in there, so it was a lot bigger of a hole. So when they put this in there and welded it, they actually filled in some of the pore, which makes it flow better. But it's so damn, they ground it so uneven and crappy. So whoever was grinding this has no skill at all. You can see how it's blended into the original port in here. So tomorrow we'll do the same thing on this head. Split it up, clean it up a little bit. This one, the exhaust is a lot more rounded. See how it's not nearly as bad as that other one?
Yeah.
This one's not nearly as bad either. See how it's not cut so deep?
Yeah.
But it's also constipated. See there's no airflow going through that thing.
So on a shovel head.
So we gotta go through here and see how this, you can't even put this little small cutter in there.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and open that thing up until we can put the small cutter in here. But we don't want to cut the guide boss away too much. We want to do most of it on the wall over here. We want to make this so I can get some airflow through there. I don't like it being that small.
So on a shovel head, the intake is up here, right?
Comes in at an angle, yeah.
Yeah.
Right here.
So it's more like this exhaust.
Right, it's more direct. That's why they run better. It's strictly a matter of airflow. This is terrible. Shovelheads aren't the best in the world, but at least they got a straight shot coming in. That's why this bolt got moved. It went from here to here, so the air can come through here.
Same with an iron head too.
Iron and sports just big twin. Which one came first?
Sportster.
Yep.
What about a flathead?
Flathead makes a big U-turn, goes this way.
Oh, so it's terrible.
Yeah, it's not very good. It's a Y, it goes in, and the valve's over here. So it goes in, makes a turn, goes up. I think it's better than a panhead though.
Oh.
Realistically, it's better than a panhead.
Yeah, well they make
But
more.
that's not saying a lot.
They can make a lot more power than a panhead though, can't they?
No, bigger motor makes more power. Cubic inches means more power. All right, so that's how we do that. We'll finish these up tomorrow.